So yesterday we started working on solving equations algebraically, which is just a big word, big fancy way to say we're solving the equations using numbers. We're not using the manipulatives anymore. So I touched on when you see variables and fractions a little bit yesterday, but I want to touch on it a lot more today because today's assignment you're going to be working in Excel on two-step equations, and you're going to be seeing several with fractions. So that's what we're going to practice today. So let's say we have n over 3 minus 1 equals 3. So the first thing we're going to do first is try to get the variable by itself. And we're going to do that by doing the additive inverse of -1, which would be +1. And if I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. So this is going to go away. So I'm going to bring this whole thing down. So I'm going to do n over 3 is equal to 3 plus 1 is 4. Now I still need to get n by itself. So again, I'm going to do the inverse operation. So right now, by the way, remember that inverse means opposite. Right now, n is being divided by 3, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So this becomes 3n divided by 3, which is equal to just 1n. So I don't write the 1 there because it's understood that it's there when you only see the variable, and n is equal to 4 times 3 is 12. So let's put that back into our original problem. Our original problem was n divided by 3 minus 1 equals 3. So if n is 12, we could put 12 here. And now let's work. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 minus 1 is actually 3. So we know our answer is correct. Let's try another one. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this line here so we can check it when we get finished and make sure our answer is correct. So we could have 2 is equal to g over 3 minus 2. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it over here too so we can plug in our answer later. And it won't be so confusing to look at. Okay, so 2 equals g over 3 minus 2. So the first thing we want to do is get our variable by itself. So we're going to get rid of this -2 by doing the inverse, which is adding 2. And if I add 2 to this side, I have to add 2 to this side. This one goes away because -2 and +2 equals 0. This one becomes 4 because 2 plus 2 is 4. And then I bring down my g over 3. Now, I still want to get this variable g by itself. And right now, it's being divided by 3. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is multiply both sides by 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. And 3g over 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So those go away, and we're left with only g. So g is equal to 2. So let's put that in over here. So if g is 2, I'm sorry, not 2, 12, I'm sorry. If g is 12, let's put that in where g is. Okay, so now this says 12 divided by 3, which is 4, minus 2 is equal to 2. So we know that our answer is correct because it matches. Okay, this time let's do 11 equals f over 3 plus 9. 11 equals f over 3 plus 9. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it over here so I don't forget what it is. Okay, so I want to get my variable by itself, so I'm going to subtract 9 from this side, and I'm also going to subtract it from this side. This one goes away because +9 plus negative 9 is 0, and 11 minus 9 is 3. No, 2, 2. I bring down my equal sign and my f over 3. Then I want to get my f by itself. So right now f is being divided by 3, so I want to do the opposite, which is multiply by 3, and I'm going to do that to both sides. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we're just left with the f. So this says f equals 6. So let's put it in over here and see if it works. So I'm going to replace that f with the 6. So now it says 6 divided by 3, which is 2, and 2 plus 9 is equal to 11. So I know that my answer is 6. That's the good thing about this. We can always check to see if we got the correct answer. This time let's do n over 4 minus 1 equals 2. Again, I want to get my variable by itself. So I'm going to do the additive inverse to negative 1, which is positive 1, and I do that to both sides. This one goes away because it equals 0. 2 plus 1 is 3. I bring down my equal sign and I bring down my n over 4. Now I still need to get my n by itself, so right now it is being divided by 4. So I'm going to do the inverse operation, or the opposite, which is to multiply both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so I'm only left with n. And 3 times 4 is 12. So let's put this 12 in our original problem. So originally we had n over 4, which would become 12 over 4 minus 1 equals 2. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So we do have the correct answer. Let's try another one. You may see something that looks like this. Q minus 70 is over 10 is equal to 2. Let's go ahead and write that over here. Q minus 70 divided by 10 is equal to 2. Okay, so when it looks like this, and this whole thing is being divided by 10, we need to get rid of that 10 first. So Q minus 70 is being divided by 10. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 10. This goes away and leaves me with only Q minus 70, because 10 divided by 10 is 1, equals 2 times 10 is 20. That looked a lot harder than it was, but it's really not as hard as it appears. Now I'm left with something that looks pretty familiar. Q minus 70 equals 20. So I need to get rid of my negative 70 by doing the inverse operation, which is to add 70 to both sides. This one goes away. I'm left with only Q is equal to 90. So let's put that in our original problem. Our original problem was Q minus 70. All of it was under the line, or a line was under all of it divided by 10. So I'm going to change this Q to 90. Now it says 90 minus 70, which would be 20, divided by 10 equals 2. And 20 divided by 10 is equal to 2. So I know that my answer is correct. What if you see something like this? F minus negative 38, all divided by 10 equals 7. Well, the first thing I notice here is those double negatives, or we used to call them mean girls, and I know they're happiest when they're together, so let's make them happy. So they're both positive. So now this actually says F plus 38 divided by 10 equals 7. So once I got my mean girls changed to positive, or my double negatives changed to positive, now I need to get rid of this 10 so I can work with this. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, so that's going to kind of cancel out, and that's going to leave me with F plus 38 is equal to 7 times 10 is 70. Now that looks pretty familiar, so I'm going to subtract 38 from both sides. This one goes away. I'm left with F on this side. And 70 minus 38 is 32. So F is equal to positive 32. Okay, let's try another one. 7 is equal to H minus 42 all divided by 8. So the first thing I'm going to do when when the whole line is under the whole H minus 42 is I'm going to multiply both sides by 8 to begin with. So these 8's go away and I'm left with 56 is equal to H minus 42. Now that looks pretty familiar. I just need to get rid of that 42, so I'm going to add 42 to both sides. This one goes away. I'm left with only H on that side, and over here I'm left with 98. So H is equal to 98. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope that maybe you've paused this and tried to work the problems yourself to help you practice. Remember, watching me do it is a lot different than you doing it yourself. So make sure you're maybe rewinding these videos and pause, like let me write a problem, pause it, you try to solve it, and then play it and see if it works to practice before you start working on your IXL. You're going to be working in IXL today on 7th grade, and your assignment is S6. Have a great weekend. Have a good Thanksgiving. I'll see y'all after Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.